I'm so grateful that I like to share that this mushroom has helped me to break through to the level of health that I could have never imagined. It means that to say that even the doctors, the panel of doctors back then, have made the final uh, the sentence saying that I would be having asthma for life. But what I strongly believe is that with the proper management of nutrition, we are able to achieve the right, correct level of immune system as well as health. So let's move forward, okay, to the next one. So as we know about infection, okay, even before the invention of the antibiotics or vaccine in early 20th century, our body is being designed with the mechanism that we have the defense mechanism to react to any infection quickly. So the question is that sometimes you need to see that there are different kind or different line of defense in our bodily system sometimes where before the infection actually takes place. And as you can see that if you want me to tabulate or if you want a panel of scientists to tabulate the whole array of viral infections in this world, it is so abundant, coming in abundance. You lost count of it. But there are about 200 different kinds of viruses are known to cause disease in humans. So as you can see the picture down there, the virus is, they are extremely small. They can come in different form, different sizes, or different complexity. So as you can see that virus has a different specific way of infiltrating into our body, and they have the specific way to attack our specific organs within our body. So sometimes we are too aware or we are too afraid of what kind of viral infection that we'll be facing. And like for example, I heard from Dr. Lim that he's the founder of DXN. He recently he has shared about the Singapore patient that he got a viral infection, which he has gone through a lot of tests because he's a quite well-to-do man. He has gone through a lot of universities, hospitals, and he succumbed to so many kinds of complications up to kidney failure. And there were symptoms of kidney failure. And the thing is that after 3 months of seeking from medical help, the problem is that there was no specific or absolute diagnosis about that the viral infection. So what I'm trying to say that no doubt that we have the advancement of in the medical science. Sometimes it is so hard for the scientists or even the medical doctors to identify what is the exact viral infection that actually attacks our body. Especially, okay, this can relate to one of my experiences that I was being hospitalized many years ago. And wow, it was a tough experience. I suffered from very high fever, and I suspected it was dengue fever, but it wasn't. I went to 2 different hospitals. I was being hospitalized, and doctor did multiple blood tests, and there were no confirmation on what kind of viral infection I was suffering to. So until the doctor actually decided to do blood culture, I was so worried because I was thinking that was it like sepsis or contamination of the blood. So to be honest, I was just fully depending on the nutrition that I had all around me because there was no final verdict, there was no final news about the viral infection, so the treatment could not be performed, could not be carried out. So I lay there for almost a week in the hospital. And after the blood culture result came out, and there were no viral infection. It was just like it couldn't be identified. So my main point of saying this is because sometimes the viral infection can be so powerful, and it can just go beyond our imagination or our beyond our knowledge. Because why? Now I want to let you know why this kind of viral infection is so powerful. Okay, so virus actually, as you can see, the virus is able to mutate. They can the virus mutation actually it can happen within minutes, hours, or sometimes within days. As you can see that viruses, they consist of a lot of genetic flexibility. That means they have an array like a library of the genes in their own capsules or envelope. So that however, the viruses, they need hosts to survive and to replicate. For example, you can see the right picture here. Like you can see that the human influenza and the bird influenza, when these both different category of virus found a swine cell host. So there were many kind of possibilities or possible mixed viruses from the different strain of RNA or DNA. That makes the treatment so difficult. That's the reason why you can see that even a simple influenza, there is no medication that is able to treat. We call it the viral kind of infection. So the benefits of this kind of mutation is for the sole purpose of the virus's survival. And sometimes when the person is like the common thing that we can see today, like hepatitis B or A, you can see that they are carrier, but they do not actually portray the symptoms that will attack the body. So the carrier of the person is able to bring this forward inside them for such long period of time. And what I'm trying to say that it is a race between your immune system and the virus. As long as you can see that if your immune system is like this, your virus is like that, it can be always confined and curbed until when your immune system falls. Your viral infection goes up, it will overtake and colonize your body. Okay, so the next thing I would like you to understand is that why we are losing, we call it, there is a decline in immunity system. So first of all, I'd like you to understand that as we age, okay, why do we lose our healing ability? As simple as you can see that a person is being diagnosed with diabetes. And of course, diabetes, if the patient is not taking good care of their health, they will suffer or succumb to degeneration. So the very obvious one you can see like gangrene or the open sores and open wound that is not healing. Well, that's the reason why we call it the decline in healing ability among the diabetic patients. So as you can see that there are a few factors that that can contribute to our healing ability. First of all, aging. Okay. Secondly, wear and tear. What's the meaning of wear and tear? Meaning that the degeneration rate is happening more than regeneration rate within our body. And of course, the third one would be too much toxic load for the body to handle. Okay, toxic load. So if you mention about toxic load, it's not about the just the poison you're taking or just the calling about all the chemicals you are being exposed to, but the underlying toxic elements or materials within the food, maybe like soft drinks, okay, or refined food, even the polished rice and bread, white bread, even the meat. Sometimes we call it the meat that needs to be stored for a longer period of time. I'm sure there's some range of preservative within it, and of course medication, which actually causes some certain level of side effects. And last but not least, we face stress every single day. Whenever we face stress, we have a lot of metabolic waste within our body that cannot be expelled out, especially the cortisol level. And of course, if you don't sleep well, with a very low level of melatonin in your body, so your body will go through a long term of low-grade chronic inflammation. What about external factors? So external factors are, of course, the pollution, the heavy metals, even as simple as chlorinated water. So I want you to understand that the chlorine water, all of us, we have the filtration water system at home, right? Or some in a more advanced country, they have a very good water supply system that don't actually require water filtration system. So, but the chlorine in the water, it has to be present due to disinfection purposes. So the chlorine, when we drink it, okay, what about when we expose the chlorine, like when you're swimming or when you're taking a shower? When you are taking a shower, the chlorine that can absorb or penetrate through your skin is 6 times more quickly than you absorb the chlorine when you drink it. If you don't believe me, you can do this self-experiment. You have the aquarium chlorine tester, right? You have a fish bowl at home. You have the aquarium tester. It comes in yellow color, right? So you take a small cup with chlorinated water. You place the chlorine test in this water. After that, you put 3 fingers in that cup. After about 5 minutes, when you remove these 3 fingers, this yellow color, the test will be gone. Where has it gone to? It's being absorbed into your body. So as you can see that all these toxins, which is, it can be very mild, it can be very like that things that we can overlook every single day. But we call it is a chronic low grade build up accumulation in the body that will cause a lot of damage in your body later on. Okay. As you can see that, whenever you look, okay, you look at this picture, this barrel means that it's our body. So if there is too much of the toxins overload, you will cause the body to work very hard to manage the toxins. It's either they need to be disposed, to be eliminated, they need to be stored if the toxins cannot be eliminated in time, and it needed to be transformed into water-soluble toxins, and it needed to be converted into a less toxicity level so that our body is able to take it. So in time, we are losing this ability because we are actually wasting a lot of resources just to manage all these group of toxins. So as you can see that, looking into a bigger picture, you can see the circle. Like for example, whenever we have a raw material, in order to reach the consumer, there are different pathways. So each and every metabolic process within the body, they have specific pathways. So if you actually do not manage the toxins input properly, these toxic elements, or we call it all these molecules, they are very good at inhibiting or interfering with all the process within the metabolic process in the body. So whenever the cycle is not complete, so to say that, like for example, immune system, if you want to produce immune system, your body, like especially the bone marrow, it needs a good range of nutrients for the body to regenerate the immune cells. Sometimes we tend to eat the food according to our taste, and we are not able to know what kind of food that our immune system needs. So to say that, as you can see that, you can tell the very huge difference, like our grandmother's time. Our grandmother's time, their food is more towards wholesome food. They can take the natural sweet potatoes. They can take more on the high fiber food like vegetables. Comparatively to the younger generation, they prefer more on the processed food and the food that suits their taste buds. So that's the reason why a lot of processed food that is actually cause a lot of damages in the body, and the body is actually deprived of this range of nutrients trying to build. So that's the reason that our body is undergoing a lot of wear and tear issue. And of course, not only due to the deprivation of the valuable nutritional input, our reservoir of the nutrients can be running low. That's the reason that we can see that a lot of osteoporosis, they are happening more commonly among the youngsters nowadays. And of course, due to the degradation of the bioavailability, means the absorption rate cannot be fully absorbed into the body due to the lack of enzymes in our food. And last but not least is due to the obstruction of transportation system, especially our blood circulatory system and our lymphatic system. So if there is some obstruction of transportation, means that all the oxygenation, the nutrients, as well as the toxins cannot be disposed out in and out of the cells efficiently. So that is causing the cell are undergoing premature death in the longer run. And what happens when we lose our healing ability? So today we are focusing more towards the immune response. So our immune response in time, it will becoming more sluggish. You can see that whenever you were vibrant, whenever you're younger, wow, it's like you're able to, let's say you have a very simple cough and cold, your body is able to recover within 1 or 2 days. However, whenever you are undergoing some aging or a high stress environment, maybe in around 40s or 50s, whenever you are falling ill, you feel that it is so hard for you to recover. So to say that your immune response has become more sluggish. And of course, it will affect the immunity ability. And of course, at the same time, due to the unnecessary immune response, that will lead to autoimmunity. As you can see that a lot of allergic reactions like eczema or like lupus, SLE, or even like in more towards European countries issues like celiac disease, okay, allergic to gluten, okay. Even nowadays, the Asians are slowly are having celiac disease as well because the Asians are more, they take more on the refined food nowadays. This is the main problem, the polished rice especially, and flour. So the importance of the wholesomeness of food. So sometimes it is very hard for us to break down all the nutrients that we need for our immune system. So like for example, the things that we need for our immune system is like most likely we know is vitamin C, zinc, and selenium, and some range of vitamins. But we need to look into the wholesomeness of the food, because the wholesomeness of the food, they come all together in macronutrients, micronutrients, enzymes, phytonutrients, different array of vitamins, minerals, cofactors, coenzymes, etc., etc., etc. So the best synergy of the nutrition comes from the natural wholesome food. No doubt, the vitamins sometimes it can be very important. It's just that the compartmentalized kind of nutrition sometimes is very hard to give the functionality that our body needs. So the spotlight today, I like to speak about this mushroom. It's called Ganoderma lucidum. So this group of mushroom, it is categorized as the highest therapeutic mushroom that the human history can find. And of course, back then, this group of mushroom is very scarce and it's very hard to find. The scientific name, as you can Google and you can do more research and see, is called Ganoderma lucidum. So Ganoderma lucidum, it comes from the Greek word. It means shiny skin. And Chinese name, it is called as Lingzhi, while Japanese name is called Reishi. Lingzhi means that the mushroom that comes from the spirit, because it provides so many miraculous therapeutic effect to the people back then. So the history of Ganoderma, for us Chinese, we are not so alien to this mushroom because it is more than 2,000 years ago. The Chinese know the effectiveness of the medicinal efficacy of Ganoderma. So whenever you speak about Lingzhi or Ganoderma in China, so they will understand that the Lingzhi mushroom actually is promoting longevity and is a mushroom of immortality. It's due to its extensive effective healing powers. So back then, the immune system was not being understood. So the Ganoderma was referred as help to overcome illnesses and increase the life expectancy of humans. So whenever you mention about Ganoderma, it symbolizes longevity. And in the book of Divine Farmer's Classic of Materia Medica, 神农本草经, it is one of the traditional Chinese medicine encyclopedia of the book, okay? So it's like their pharmacology book. It is mentioned that back then, Ganoderma was being consumed only by the royalties of China. And it was so scarce, it was so difficult to find that only this group of mushroom can be consumed by the royalties. any common man beyond the China or Chinese royalty families will be beheaded or penalized. So the way they consume this group of mushroom is by trying to take the ceramic pot, they slice the Ganoderma into slices, and they will boil it and to simmer it for hours to get the essence of Ganoderma. And in this, in the Ganoderma in the TCM context, the highest level of the therapeutic efficacy that this mushroom can give is the red reishi, the red mushroom. And the hierarchy of the herbs in TCM is that there are three categories. So as you can see that they are superior, average, and fat. Superior simply means that the group or the range of the food or the herbs in TCM is able to recover from sickness and promote preventative and balancing effects to the body in the long run without side effects, regardless of any amount or any regularity. So average wise means that it's like tonic. Whenever the person is feeling weak, yeah, so the person will be opting for certain range of herbs from the TCM, but it cannot be consumed in the long run, but only periodically. Fair wise is like our medical, our medicine. Whenever we are not feeling well and there's a certain symptoms are surfacing, okay? So this group of herbs, they are being used to curb the symptomatic level of the sickness. So to say that the Ganoderma is being categorized under the superior category. And this is a Chinese context from the Compendium of Materia Medica. It's like the herbalist book. So let me explain a little bit. Okay, the circled one, the first one is called, like I've mentioned, the Ganoderma is classified as superior herb. And the second circle below in the text means that there is no toxic effect by its nature. By its nature, there is no toxic effect. And the Ganoderma can be consumed like daily vegetables on your dining table. Because remember, Ganoderma is like mushrooms. It's just that this mushroom contains a high level of nutrients that your immune system needs in your body. So of course, due to its powerful therapeutic effects that has been used more than thousands of years in the East, so Ganoderma has slowly becoming the spotlight worldwide. And due to its, there is no side effects being consumed in the long run and the bioactive compounds found in the Ganoderma. So a lot of modern scientists coming from like in the East, like Japan, China, Taiwan, Korea, even Malaysia, India, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, and even now it is reaching to the Western countries like New Zealand, Canada, and America. So you can see that there are a few papers you can see from, nowadays you can Google the papers, research papers more easily for research purposes. You can see that how the Ganoderma lucidum is able to help with the body with fighting the viruses or even bacterial infection, and also even in the cancer treatment, how can they be being utilized integratively to help and to alleviate the side effects of chemotherapy. And at the same time, how the Ganoderma lucidum is promoting the anti-tumor effects among the breast cancer patients, not only in vitro, but also in vivo. In vivo means that it's being used among the people, not in the lab like it is being used on the white mice. It's being used worldwide already among the mankind. So the cultivation of Ganoderma, the history, because of its the efficacy, because of its the demand has grown so immense. Then the China and Japan finally succeeded in cultivating the Ganoderma, so that to cater to the demand of the people. And until like 1980s, the commercialized production from Taiwan, and finally 1983, the first cultivation of commercially comes from Malaysia. And of course, back then you can see that the way they cultivate the Ganoderma is different, because Ganoderma is the fungi family, so it needs the wood to grow. So it's back then it's being planted in the wooden stump. But Dr. Lim, okay, which is who is the founder of DXN, okay, he is the master of research in Ganoderma. I will explain more about it later. Okay, so what makes DXN Ganoderma so different? The founder of DXN Ganoderma is Dr. Lim Xiaojun. So even before year 1993, it was being commercialized officially. Dr. Lim actually took about more than 10 years, did his own research in 1983 to how to cultivate and how to make sure the efficacy and effectiveness of the mushroom is well preserved. And of course, this company has penetrated more than 180 countries worldwide for the past 27 years, okay, including Australia, even in European Union countries. And the cultivation method, okay, is to there are a few things that Dr. Lim has adopted to ensure the quality can be properly duplicated to all the mushrooms. That's the reason why his Ganoderma and some range of the nutritional products are being endorsed and certified by different international bodies. Okay, and the source, of course, is very important. And one of the most significant points by DXN and also by Dr. Lim is that he knows how to preserve the nutrient in the packaging without having all the nutrient loss during the process of extraction, or even during the process of cultivation. Okay, so as you can see that there are a lot of certificates that DXN has obtained, but I will just mention these two significant ones. One of them is TGA, Therapeutic Goods Administration from Australia. So this TGA coming from Australia is one of the stringent, the body that controls the health supplement into the country. And every year, this body will actually do a spot check on this factory, whether the compliance of this GMP will be met, to ensure there is no contamination, and that there is no contamination, especially the source coming, it has to be clean. There is no heavy metals within. And of course, the certification, the second one will be ISO 14001, which is a higher level of organic certification. It is an EMS, the Environmental Management System, that has a higher level in managing with the cultivation. How is it? There's no wastage. And there is no commercialized fertilizers or pesticides being used during throughout all the cultivation process. Okay, the next thing I will mention is what is DXN Ganoderma? So as you can see that Ganoderma, it can be subdivided into two portions. Okay, the left one, as you can see, that is called Ganoderma fruit body. The fruit body that you can see, the petals, the whole thing, the mushroom itself is called the fruit body. And the second one will be Ganoderma newborn sprouts. It's coming from the root. So I will mention about the fruit body first. The fruit body in this product, it is called Reishi Gano, or RG. It can come in the capsule form or powder form. So how to reassure the quality of Ganoderma, that for those people who have been consuming Ganoderma for years, or even myself, I need to know as well, how can this quality of the therapeutic effects can be well preserved in this wonderful mushroom. First of all, the right species. As I've mentioned, in the TCM context of the encyclopedia, as well as the pharmacology of China, okay, the red mushroom actually has one of the highest therapeutic mushroom that it can give. And of course, within that species, Dr. Lim knows there are so many other, about 400 varieties of edible Ganoderma existing in the jungle in Malaysia. So Dr. Lim has picked the 6 superior red mushroom that gives the best therapeutic effect. As you can see the picture below, okay? These are the 6 main Ganoderma handpicked by Dr. Lim himself. And the age of Ganoderma is extremely important. For people who are being exposed about Ganoderma, they always think that the older the Ganoderma, the better. The bigger, the better, because we have the term is called 千年灵芝 or 百年灵芝, means that 1,000 years old mushroom or 100 years old or century-year-old mushroom, the bigger, the better. However, Dr. Lim says that this is not the case. It's because that the nutrients, most of the nutrients in the fruit body is being contained within the capsule, the shell of the fruit body, which are the spores within the fruit body. So after 3 months, the fruit body will release the spores out for multiplication. Okay, so for people who are actually consuming the old Ganoderma or cutting we call it in slices, as you can see in the older days, how those practitioners are taking the Ganoderma through boiling. Okay, the effectiveness from the therapeutic effect is no longer there anymore. Okay, it's because most of the nutrients are found within the mushroom spores. And due to the humid climate in Malaysia, the concentration of the spores, okay, is very high. Hence, it can be easily harvested within 3 months. So I'd like to show some of the pictures here. Okay, so this is the medium for the mushroom. Okay, as you can see that the polybag is a biodegradable polybag, combining the rice husk and the sawdust. And of course, after that, each and every pack of the sawdust will be placed in the pressure cooker. It's called an autoclave machine, using like a high steam process, okay, very high pressure process, to kill all other fungi and other microbes within that polybag before inserting Ganoderma within. Okay, as you can see that, after the Ganoderma is being planted within the polybag, you can see the white color thing comes out first. It's called the root of the Ganoderma, the mycelium. And before I forget, the spores of the mother plant is very hard to control the quality of the mushroom. But Dr. Lim, to ensure the best mother plant, Dr. Lim actually uses tissue culture method to replicate the best mother plant of the Ganoderma. As you can see that, this is the growth of Ganoderma in the farm. As you can see that the white ring, okay, outside the Ganoderma. And the ISO 14001, this is one of them, being mentioned that Dr. Lim uses the vertical hanging method. It is not touching the floor because the root of the Ganoderma is very powerful. It is able to absorb whatever things that is found within the soil, including the heavy metals. So it is being detached from the flooring. Okay, it is being hung vertically, and there's a mosquito netting surrounded the Ganoderma farm. And at the same time, it is Dr. Lim uses the underground water, the natural water, to sprinkle within the farm to create a better humidity for the Ganoderma to grow. Now you can see that the ring has disappeared, means that it is 3 months old. The Ganoderma is ready to be harvested. Okay, and the process of extraction is the most crucial part. Excuse me. So a lot of Ganoderma company, as well as the older method, we are using heat method to extract the Ganoderma. As you can see that if you really happen to go to see Ganoderma for real, it is as hard as a piece of wood. It is impossible for you to chew this mushroom. So you need to go through a proper process of extraction so that this group of nutrients can be properly preserved and conserved at the end of the product. So DXN actually uses, Dr. Lim uses cold extraction. Cold extraction means that he uses cold air, Okay, this is a mushroom. Then whenever it's undergoing freeze-dry process, whenever it's dried, it's hardened, so it will be crushed. So the fiber together with the spores will be taken into the chamber, will be sucked into the chamber, and there will be the filtration process of separating the fiber and the spores. And the micropowderation takes place is a technology from Dr. Lim to ensure all the spores within the Ganoderma can be cracked so that our body is able to absorb these nutrients. Like you see that whenever you take flaxseed, you need to blend the flaxseed. Only you can consume the flaxseed. So this is the same concept. Okay, all right. So the concentration is also very important. The total ratio of the fruit body of the fruit body until the end, okay, the algae spores and the nutritious fiber is 20 kilo to 1 kilo. Means 20 kilo of fruit body, you are able only to get 1 kilo of the algae spores and the nutritious fiber. Okay, the bioactive nutrients, if you want to like find all the 400 bioactive ingredients, it is like almost impossible because they come in a synergy form. But I would like to emphasize on the significant ones like polysaccharides. Okay, what can the polysaccharide do is to boost, not only to enhance, but it can modulate your immune system. Whenever it's like your immune system is undergoing some hyperactivity, it can calm the immune system down. Secondly, adenosine. Adenosine is one of the elements found abundantly in Ganoderma that is able to dislodge the blockages within your blood vessels. Imagine that a person is undergoing angioplasty or bypass. The angioplasty can only be done in one of the biggest vessels in your heart. What about the smaller blood vessels in your body? You can't possibly do angioplasty throughout your whole blood circulatory system, right? So adenosine is one of the most effective ways to clear the pathways. Remember, I told you about why is there the decline of the immune system. One of them is due to the blockages of the transportation system. If there is a blockages of the transportation system, your immune system cannot travel freely in your blood circulation system as well as your lymphatic system. And of course, the next one will be tryptophanes. It increases your stress resistance, not only emotionally, but also biologically, so that your body is able to work and to be smoothened without much of the biological stress and resistance. And the organic germanium is to enhance the cellular oxygenation in your body. Last but not least, which is the ganoderic acids. They are cardioprotective and liver protective. Next will be, okay, the valuable benefits of the RG. So it can change the nature of your acidity of your body, especially we are exposed to so much, a lot of contamination as well as toxins. RG is categorized as one of the most alkaline food on earth, like the greens. Okay, hence it is able to reduce the stickiness in the blood. Of course, at the same time, by dissolving the blockages in the blood vessels, the inflammation within the blood vessels can be reduced. And of course, the fat-soluble toxins that is so stubborn, okay? RG is able to accelerate this process. And not only that, a lot of research papers that because of the ganoderic essence, that is able to promote the production of glutathione as superoxide dismutase, especially in the liver, so that your liver, because your liver is the largest organ inside your body, so that your liver is able to have all its precursors as well as raw materials to dispose the toxins out of your body effectively. And of course, it is able to enhance your immune system, increasing your stress resistance, and to prevent tissues and cells degeneration. That's the reason why in ancient times, the China royalties categorized Ganoderma as the anti-aging mushroom. because this group of mushroom, especially Ganoderma, is able to balance the systemic functions to reach the homeostasis level, meaning to say the balancing state. Okay. What about Ganoderma mycelium? We call it Ganocilium or GL. Just now I was mentioning RG was the fruit body, while GL is the mycelium. As you can see that the white color is the root, is being cultivated separately from RG. So it is like 14 days. You can see the cycle in the last picture at the lowest one, even before the fruit body is growing out. You can see number 4 there. Okay, mycelium forms and take over the whole polybag. It absorbs all your nutrients from the polybag. As you can see that the bioactive nutrients in GL, the polysaccharides found, okay, in GL is higher than RG. And that's the reason why one of when we manage certain health issues, we will be using GL first. It's due to the high content of polysaccharides, especially on infections. And at the same time, the organic germanium found in GL is 4 times more than RG. It can greatly improve the cellular oxygenation. At the same time, not only that, you can find a lot of beneficial enzymes to improve the digestive ability and healing ability in your gastrointestinal region. At the same time, you can see that a wide spectrum of vitamins and minerals found in GL, especially the B group vitamins, even vitamin C, even selenium, iron, zinc, and magnesium. Okay, the valuable benefits of GL is it will heighten the cellular oxygenation level. Okay, it will enhance and modulate the immune system. And at the same time, it is a very good brain tonic. Just a recap. The Ganoderma is very safe to be consumed, including safe for people all walks of life, including old people, pregnant mothers, and babies. Because this is food. Remember, this is food. So whenever a child is like, let's say, is like to prevent, try to prevent the child in the womb from viral infection, the pregnant mothers can actually take more GL to protect the womb, because it is able to enhance the immune system within the womb, at the same time to enhance the brain development in the womb as well. So I also have experience with people with dengue fever. For people who are not who are living in the tropical countries, especially in the Southeast Asia, dengue fever is being transmitted through the mosquitoes. So the mosquitoes actually we carry like in Africa, like malaria, right? But this is dengue fever. Dengue fever, it can the side effects of this virus, from this Aedes mosquito, can cause, this virus can cause the rupture of internal blood vessels in your body. That's the reason why the people will succumb to running low of the platelet counts. And so our solution is to give a lot of GL, like about the GL powder, like 30 grams of GL daily. You can split into 3 times, and the person can drink it to mix with water. Okay, so is to eliminate the virus, because this, as you can see that the polysaccharide, the glucan D6, is able to promote the bone marrow function. Bone marrow is able to create a lot of stem cells that can be subdivided into many different kind of cells in our body, for like the blood cells, which is red blood cells, platelets, or even white blood cells. So in this dengue fever, okay, the platelet counts will be further increased, and at the same time the white blood cells will be further increased, so that we are racing with the virus, you see. So as long as you have a higher immune system, the viral infection will be eliminated. So to say that we cannot worry too much about what kind of viral infection that will attack our body, because there are too many of them. And we have to wait for the vaccine to come out, sometimes depending on the antibiotics to come out. So what can we do as a preventive measure is to heighten and to ensure your immune system at its optimal level. Your immune system is something like a pot of flour. you need to nurture it on a daily basis. So some people, they are unaware, that they are oblivious about their immune system, so they can just keep punishing by not exercising, not living a good lifestyle, having a stressful life, sleep very late. So by then, whenever there's is being exposed to certain infection, it will be too late. So to say that we need what I want to say here is that to help all of you to understand that immune system is something that we need to take good care of on a daily basis. And of course, the GL is able to repair, to recover, and to strengthen the cell membrane integrity. And the integrity means that the receptors of the cells can be damaged by toxins and can be damaged whenever there is some deprived nutrients. And whenever the cell membrane is not in the good state, all the things that should not enter will be getting into the cell. Whatever things that should not leave out of the cell will be leaking out. So we are actually losing the cell membrane integrity is due to deprivation of the nutrition we need, especially the polysaccharide range of the food that cannot be found in most of the food we eat on a daily basis. At the same time, GL is able to normalize the body functions. Okay, normalize means that it is able to reverse. A lot of people thought that when the cell is like sick, it cannot be reversed. It can be normalized and reversed to its healthy state. Hence, it is called anti-cancer activity as well. So, of course, at the same time, the wide spectrum of enzymes in GL, it is able to enhance the gastrointestinal functions. Okay, so how does the polysaccharides in Ganoderma on the viral invasion? So, according to Professor Sun, okay, from Taiwan, he has a research paper that actually tabulate that the polysaccharide is able to affect or to alter the surface protein of the virus. Okay, as you can see that the picture, the first picture on the left, okay, is like everything that the biological process in the body, it has to be specific, like lock and key. So whenever there is a viral infection, a certain key needs to enter or to approach the certain receptor of the cell, so the cell will allow these certain group of virus to enter the cell, so the cell will receive the virus to replicate. This group of polysaccharide coming from Ganoderma is able to alter the key of the virus. As you can see that virus, the mutation, because the virus is so intelligent and so smart, so it is able to mutate in a rapid pace, so that we scientists are not able to catch up to find the correct vaccine, or even before the antibody is found, or even the right antibiotics is found. So our immune system is able to do that. At the same time, the polysaccharides from the food, okay, from mushroom, it is able to inhibit or to stop the viral replication, especially whenever there is a warning, the alarm, the sign, okay, being signaled by the white blood cells, which is interferon. That means, like, let's say if my house is broken into by robbers, I will inform the other neighbors that my house is broken into by robbers. So they will be aware. So the receptors, they will alter the receptors, they are aware, so that the virus will not infiltrate into the next healthy cell. Okay, and at the same time, okay, the regulation of this will actually enhance the host cell immunity. It can be done. Okay, so how to take RG and GL? So for people who are the newcomers, okay, who have never taken the mushroom before, you can take like the first week, one pair, means one RG, one GL daily for 7 days. Okay, we go gradually. The second week, you can go up to 2 pairs daily. Third week, 4 pairs. And by the 4th week, you can take up to 6 pairs, means 6 RG and 6 capsules daily. You can split it to like 3 RG and 3 GL in the morning, and maybe at night, 3 RG and 3 GL at night. Okay, so in total of maintenance dosage is about 6 pairs, which is equivalent to for those people who opting for powder form is 1 scoop. Okay, 1 scoop. So for people who have moderate or severe health issues, you can take more than that because it's food. Remember, it's like vegetables. You can take up to 9 to 30 or even 60 capsules. No issue. You can take that, right? Okay, Ganoderma, okay, Ganotherapy. Just now, you will be introduced about this is mushroom therapy. However, I just want you to understand about Ganotherapy is a holistic approach. It's another name for the mushroom therapy. It's more specific, yeah? Okay, so we need to understand that all of our 11 bodily systems are dependent on one another. We cannot actually eliminate one of the organs or systems saying that this is more important than one another because they are actually relying to one another. Like for example, if your body is having a very high toxic load, okay, your liver, because your liver right now, it is able to do more than 500 tasks in your body. Imagine, regulation of immune system is one of them. If your liver load is being taken just by focusing on managing the toxins, your liver will be very fatigued and your liver will try to manage the toxins. That's the reason why the toxins that cannot be properly disposed out of the body, it can form into fatty liver or visceral fat. Visceral fat and fatty liver, you don't hear about these terms 15 to 20 years ago, but you hear more about fatty liver and visceral fat in the recent years. Why? Because we are taking more refined food and we have higher input of toxins into our body, and your body is trying to increase the capacity of the buffering system by storing and storing and storing without providing the priority to immune system. That's the reason why we are actually losing the healing ability today. But the good news is that all these things, it can be reversed provided you give the right range of nutrient or precursors into your body. So the Ganoderma, today I only touch about the Ganoderma. You can see that the Ganoderma, the red color mushroom, okay, it is under the mushroom family. And of course, the mushroom family, you can see it can encompass the other range of, we call the superior level of or category of mushroom like cordyceps, tiger milk mushrooms, lion's manes, like poria. Okay, next one, by using the mushroom family will not be enough. So we need something which is greens. I'm sure that you are actually aware that the greens are very important to, okay, very important for our health as well. So greens are also part of our gynotherapy as well. And of course, enzyme therapy. Remember, enzymes, they are your workers in your body. Without enzymes, there is no life. Okay, so we need enzymes as catalysts or so something to kickstart our body. Last but not least, we have other essential functional foods that you can be found in gynotherapy like roselle, like red yeast rice, black cumin, or andrographis. Okay, a kind of the plant, the herbs that is very good for infection. Okay, all right. So gynotherapy is not to eliminate the virus, but to make sure, to ensure our body will be able to obtain all the nutrients that our cells need, not according to our taste or our appetite. So sometimes we need to sit down and to reflect on the things that we have been eating on a daily basis. What could have actually led our health or our health status becoming weaker today. So it's because of the diet and because of the lifestyle that we are actually being exposed to or modernized. So you can see that we have to look back into our ancestors, like our grandparents. They are healthier than us. It's due to the wholesomeness in the food they have been eating all this while. Okay, this is one of the project, a very interesting project by Dato Dr. Lim. Okay, so DXN actually had this the night blindness project in Pakistan. So in Pakistan, the children are actually suffering from night blindness. Night blindness means that they are not able to see at night. So the government in Pakistan, of course, to our understanding that, oh, night blindness is related to eyes, and the government and the doctors, they are actually helping this group of children with vitamin A. However, this group of children with night blindness did not recover from night blindness. So when Dr. Lim actually participated in this night blindness project by providing the spirulina as well as a GL to this group of children, this group of children actually recovered and healed from night blindness. So to say that night blindness is not actually because we are deprived of vitamin A, but a certain range of nutrition that cannot be found in the body. That's the reason why our eyes, the cells, cannot actually rejuvenate in time. So to say that we need to look into the wholesomeness of the food sometimes. Sometimes we need to know all the bioactive ingredients or the elements in the food. The very important part is we need to know that what kind of food that can provide the wholesomeness as well as a wide spectrum of the nutrients that we cannot obtain from our dining table food. Okay. So to say that, this is my final slide. Okay. Why gynotherapy? The main purpose, the main objective of gynotherapy, I like to remind you, is to create a better health in the longer term. Okay, and is to help your body to reach its balance or homeostasis state, and very importantly, the rejuvenation needs to take place. If your degeneration has always been consistently more than rejuvenation, you will always suffer from wear and tear. Okay, so you need to enhance rejuvenation rate. And last but not least, okay, with all these properties, you are able to replenish and to recover your natural body healing ability. That's all from me. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.
Yes, William?
Yeah.
Can you, I saw you had a slide at the end for references. Do you mind actually showing that?
Yeah, sure. Okay. It's all related to the numbers, numbering that you can see in the previous slides.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so it's like being linked there. Yeah.
They're mainly from the National Library of Medicine, yeah? And
yes.
Yes, okay, thanks.
Because most of the Ganoderma, they come in a Chinese context. So I try to find which is more understandable for all of us, which is English. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we can see your face now. So just want to open up to the floor if they have any questions. And if you want to speak, just unmute yourself. I think most people know how to unmute themselves now. You just have to look underneath and you look for the button that says mute or unmute. It's on the extreme left-hand corner. Okay, while waiting for questions, I wanted to ask you, okay, sorry, somebody says, okay, so maybe you can stop sharing the screen so we can see your face, yeah?
Oh, my face not being seen, okay.
Okay, so yeah, so you talked about the gynotherapy. Actually, the styles of this therapy is actually RG and GL, right? Reishi Ganoderma and Ganoderma lucidum. And then, of course, there is the enzymes which actually DXN also makes, right? You have fermented pineapple juice that is enhanced with cordyceps.
Yes, correct.
You didn't mention too much about cordyceps, so isn't that considered to be one of the important mushrooms as well? Could you comment on that?
Yes, cordyceps is also one of the, we call it the superior category of the mushroom, of the fungi family, because it's due to the time constraint. So I can only mention one by one. So there are a lot of specific functions. What I want you to understand today, okay, by beginning to let you understand more about Ganoderma lucidum first. There will be more to come, hopefully, okay? So today it's like I want you to understand that Ganoderma is like a holistic management of your body. And like cordyceps, for example, they are more specifically targeted health management on certain organs, like these 4 vital organs, like lungs, liver, kidneys, and also heart.
I see.
These four. They're more specific.
Okay, can you say that again? Lungs,
Okay, lungs, heart,
heart,
the liver,
liver,
and kidneys.
kidneys. Okay.
Yes. So people who are undergoing like some liver issues, like cirrhosis, the hardening of liver, cordyceps is very, very good. Because cordyceps, they have been proven to reverse the fibrocystic tissue in the lungs as well as the liver.
It sounds like that would be very good to actually as preventative against the COVID, what's that, SARS-CoV-2 virus, because of that lung damage, right? But
Yes.
at the end of it, you will still say the foundation is still RG and GL, and then you might put in cordyceps in addition to that. Is that correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Then I saw you also mention about lion's mane, right? There is also a lot of therapeutic effects of lion's mane. Can you comment on what it actually works on?
Okay, lion's mane, I give a very brief overall functionality of lion's mane. Lion's mane is very good, first of all, for the nerve growth factor. Means it's to promote the growth within your neurons. So it is very good for people who are actually suffering from memory loss, Alzheimer, or muscle atrophy, or even peristaltic issues. Some people, they always find that they cannot pass motion, They always look into the issues of their lack of enzymes as well as lack of fiber. But they need to understand that our medulla oblongata, okay, is the one that is controlling all our movement, involuntary movement in our body. So peristalsis movement is one of them. So whenever there is a degeneration of the nerve, like the destruction of the myelin sheath, that means your cabling system, right? So whenever there's a cabling system that is being worn out, so the nervous system actually will not work. All the message from the brain or from the spinal cord cannot be transported. Yeah. So lion's mane is very good at repairing the nerves, and also at the same time, it is very good for minute blood circulation.
So in the brain capillary, the micro, yes. So
yes.
Be good for people who've suffered from stroke, or very good for people who are having early signs of Parkinson's or Alzheimer's.
Or numbness as well. Yes. Okay. It is very good. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So.
And also very good for we call it the stomach lining. People who are actually having a long term of the H. pylori infection.
Okay, so H. pylori is like the cause of gastritis and the cause of many irritating stomach issues, right? Diarrhea, and it looks almost like an irritable bowel syndrome, but it's like early stages, right?
Yes, but it's more on a bacterial cause, by H. pylori. Sometimes we have the bad habit of, sometimes we share the dish, we try to share the utensils, we do not know how we get contracted with this group of, the microbes.
Right. Okay, there's a question. Somebody asked, please advise on benign tumor. What is dosage to take per day? How long to take it before we find results? I.e. to have a reduction in tumor size, improve health, etc. Thanks.
Okay, so maybe I can just, should I just, I will give, can I have Lynn's contact? So maybe I can write my protocol, because it may take some time, okay? Unless you are able to jot down. So because benign tumor is not something that is so easy. I need you to understand that why benign tumor can develop. Benign tumor will not develop within a day or months. It takes years to develop. So as you can see that before we call that the cancers, or when you go we can see cancer patients, they are being diagnosed with malignant cancer, right? That's the term is being called adenocarcinoma. So before the adenocarcinoma or the malignant cancer cells take place, the development needs to happen first, the progression. So benign tumor is part of it. So we need to find the root cause of, we call it the development of benign tumor is due to, as you can see that a lot of cases, we can see that the biopsy of the malignant tumor. So you can see that this is a capsule of the group of tumor, right? So sometimes the biopsy, they try to puncture the group of tumor in order to find out whether this group of cells, whether they are malignant or not. Sometimes they can cause the metastasis is due to this biopsy. There is a risk. So it's because why? The capsule actually, they are your natural body mechanism. So that your body will not let this group of abnormal cells to spread at the first place. Secondly, there are certain elements, or we call it the toxic elements in the body that cannot be properly managed. Yet, it's a form of buffering system that the body is developing the benign tumor or boils, or we call it a form of the chronic growth, like lipoma, for example. It's one of the things that we can see how our body is being wonderfully and fearfully made to help to encapsulate the unwanted things within our body before it's being disposed out. But if you wouldn't mind, please bear with me. I will reply Lind personally to this, because I need a proper protocol.
Can we do it later?
Yes.
Yes. William, can you show back the slide again where you
Okay.
actually gave a recommendation on the dosage over the weeks? And you started week 1, week 2. Could you
All right.
explain to all of us why we take this cautious approach? What might happen if we don't follow this? Because some people might think that more is better, right? Like, oh, I'm going to be gung-ho. I'm going to start with 6 straight away.
Yeah, that's a very good question, Ms. Chan. Yes, that's a very good question. To be honest, there is no one size fits all in nutrition. So this is a general guideline for people who have never taken the Ganoderma before. Because remember, so Ganoderma is one of the most alkaline food that we can find. So remember, when some people they are being exposed, we call it a conditioning purpose. Like, for example, when someone is like has not been exercising, an obese man who has not been exercising for the past 10 years, and if I want him to run 10 rounds the next day, he will not make it. So it's the same thing when the person is like undergoing, because whenever you meet a client, you might not know his background, so, or what kind of lifestyle he is like leading to. Okay, so all we need to do that is to slowly increase the RG and GL, so that the transition of acidity into alkalinity slowly, gradually, without giving a shock to the body, because body by naturally does not like good shock or bad shock. So this is a gradual way. This is a very general guideline. For some people, maybe you are you know this client for a long time very well. You know the health condition. You can straight away give 6 GL without any issue.
Okay. Then I'd like you to also comment on what somebody just asked. Yes, she asked, well, can I take this immediately? Can I do a fast after this cure? So from what I understand, this person believes that we just do this for a little while and we stop. Like, we start on gynotherapy, and then when we see results, we stop. Can you comment on that? Because from what I heard from you, it's more like a lifestyle. Like, I choose to go on this. Just like if I need to take supplements for the rest of my life because I feel that it's helping me, because I don't get all my nutrition from my food. What would you have to say about this, because many people think that they do something for 3 months or 6 months and then they can stop. What would happen for somebody who actually is healthy, they take this for a while and then they stop? What would you say on this trend of thinking?
Okay, I really appreciate this question, because some people, they'll be thinking that should they be taking the Ganoderma or Gynotherapy in the long run. So it is totally depending on your lifestyle. So there is no fixated, or there is a standard for you to consume Gynotherapy in the long run without stop. Let's say if this person is like undergoing the Gynotherapy for a period of time, when he's feeling better and the illness is like being reduced, and he can like take a break for a while. But remember, Ganoderma, it always provides a lot of all the bioactive ingredients found in Ganoderma. It is able to promote the detoxification process. So my next question will be asking the person if he wants to stop for a longer period of time. It's okay to stop for a short period of time, but the accumulation of all the toxicity in the body, it will happen. It's something like whenever you clean your house, right? So you don't clean your house like today, I mean, on a daily basis, or maybe on a few days in a week to clean the house. So some people, they'll be thinking that, oh, I do not want to clean the house, so I may leave the house for an entire year, so I'll be doing my spring cleaning next year. So it's the same concept. So there is no absolute law or absolute standard to be actually advocated to the person whether, oh, he must take this gynotherapy for the rest of his or her life, because it can, like, you can take a break, or even you can go for a higher dose. We call it mega dose. Mega dose means that you can take 30 grams of RG and 30 grams of GL, and you fast in the morning to enhance the detoxification process.
So you would say, so somebody doing an intermittent fasting, they don't eat anything in the morning, and they take this as a paste, for example, yeah, the powder, that will be more effective.
Yes, because whenever there's no load of other, we call it the interference from other food, the detoxification process will actually be more effective.
Yes. And someone asked about how do we support the immune system together with all the gynotherapy, and about hydration. Would you comment on that?
Come again? You mean like?
It means drinking enough water. How much water we drink is this very important when you're doing the gynotherapy as well.
Okay, so some people, they are, okay, in my health education, hydration is part of my education. So hydration, whenever you take the gynotherapy, whenever you detoxify, you need, some people may be experienced, this will be a more advanced topic we'll be talking about. We call it healing crisis. Healing crisis means that the reaction of detoxification you may be experiencing, because sometimes whenever the detoxification process is happening, your body will consume more water source from your body. So the person may be experiencing maybe a little bit of thirst or tiredness. Okay, just listen to your body. You need to drink more water. The guideline of drinking water is pretty much simple, because there is no like, oh, whenever you drink 8 glasses of water, it's the same amount of when I drink 8 glasses of water. It all depends on our lifestyle, the way how we dispose the water. So it's pretty much simple. You look at your weight. This is how the Japanese, they are actually drinking the water. It's a little bit unorthodox here, but actually this is one of the guidelines you can refer to. Let's say, for example, you are 60 kilos, right? You can drink up to about, you just divide by 2. 60 kilos, you drink up to about 2.5 to 3 liters of water daily. And second guideline is, you make sure your urination, your urine is not yellow in color. It should be pale. This is a guideline you should look into.
And thirdly, it shouldn't be so
so smelly. And third guideline, do not wait until you are thirsty, then only you drink the water. You should sip the water from time to time. Yeah, I can see that people are drinking water here. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody asked for hepatitis carrier, what would you recommend? How would Ganoderma help?
Okay, how would Ganoderma help? So for hepatitis B, right? Carrier, right?
Carrier, she says, Oiling, would you like to unmute yourself and reply to that question? Hepatitis carrier?
Hepatitis B carrier.
Hepatitis B, okay.
Okay, so I will give you the exact dose later, okay, Olin. So right now, the most important for hepatitis or liver-related kind of illnesses, so you can actually give the cordypine, okay, even the cordyceps, GL, and even Rosel, because Rosel is also very good at softening the liver. But I will give
my friend feels that she has no problem now, so she doesn't take any like drugs or medication. But can this hepatitis B as a carrier, can it be worsened later on?
The asymptomatic means that actually we all human beings, we can live together with virus. Secondly, we can live together with cancer cells. Why? It's because of our immunity. We are clinging all on the ability to defend ourselves. So it's like whenever the carrier of the person, okay, it's like, let's say a hepatitis B carrier, means that this virus is very specific. It's attacking the liver. But whenever the immune system is very good, or she is in a very good state, this group of virus will be actually lying dormant within the liver. It is not totally being eliminated. Something like a herpes virus, you know, the cold sore sometimes you'll be having, right? So it's the same thing. So the hepatitis B, so to ensure that we need to always enhance the immune system in her body, okay, by giving a minimal dose to her. And if you ask to answer to your question, if the person is a carrier for hepatitis B, if she is not careful enough, let's say she is undergoing a great deal of traumatic experience or traumatic kind of trauma that can actually hamper the immune system in an acute way, then this group of virus can actually come out and create havoc to the liver. So to be safe than sorry, okay, so we need to, like I mentioned, need to nurture the immune system on a daily basis. And I've seen, and even in our team of gynotherapy, we have seen people who have been carrier for so many years, then finally the carrier has become undetectable.
Mm-hmm.
Within the, what you can see in the medical side, is
so you're saying that
undetectable.
it can be reversed lah.
It can be reversed.
Yes. So basically, you're also saying that an ounce of prevention is worth more than a pound in cure, right?
Yes.
Because your investment now is small. When it becomes manifested as a disease, the repair work is humongous, and the expenses will really be high. And yeah.
Yes.
Somebody asked about Parkinson's. Do you think that gynotherapy can be a solution to Parkinson's disease?
Yes, one of my very significant testimonies that I had is my church member's mom. She has been not only having Parkinson's but also Alzheimer. She's like very bad tempered. She cannot remember a thing that the doctor has said. So the Parkinson actually is also due to the degeneration of nerves in the body that leads to the loss control of the motor function. And we need to, at the same time, Parkinson's disease is also happening in more of the elderly, because we are actually depriving from the communication system. What is the meaning of communication system? Means that your nervous system is like your ground phone, your phone that you have cable line. So to say that all the signals from your brain, it will send through your motor system, your hand, your feet, even though your gastrointestinal functions. Second, your handphone, your mobile phone is your hormonal system. So we need to actually boost these two systems so that the communication process can be completed. So we see that older people, they have more on the, of course, the ladies, yeah? Ladies, they are, after the menopause period, they will be succumbing to the imbalance of the hormones, means that they have the lack of the commanders in the pineal gland, and as well as the pituitary gland, as well as the regulator in the thyroid and parathyroid gland. They are not able to regulate properly, so that it will give a lot of load to the nervous system. And it can cause a lot of wear and tear within the nervous system. So what we need to do is actually to help the Parkinson patient, especially we need to help with the communication system, or we call it the endocrine as well as the nervous system, which is the lion's mane. Okay, the lion's mane, you can give like about 2 scoops daily. All right. So for spirulina powder, you can give about like 1 scoop daily. And at the same time, you can give the GL powder like 2 scoops daily as well. Okay. And last but not least, just top up with the Morinzi, 30 mils.
So Morinzi is, can you explain what it is?
Okay, Morinzi actually is a noni fruit. Okay, noni fruit, it is called as also named as the Indian mulberry. The fruit, it is one of the berries that contains a lot of zeronin that helps to orchestrate your endocrine system and how to promote, and it is one of the precursors that your body needs to produce hormonal system to give commands to your body to work properly. Yeah, okay. This is one of the functions. Yeah.
Okay, So that can be done, yeah. Can I just ask the question? Why did Dr. Lim choose spirulina? Because there are other greens that are very effective in alkalizing and doing the work of spirulina, like chlorella.
Mm.
Yeah, why did he choose zero in on spirulina?
Spirulina, of course, if you look into the history of spirulina, it came from the not only the Aztecs back in so many centuries ago, but after that it leads to the we call it the Africa, the famine in Africa. There's one region is called Lake Chad. Around that lake, the casualties is one of the lowest. We call it has the lowest casualty suffering from the famine. So it is found that the lake itself, it is found that abundantly the growth of spirulina in the pond. So to say that spirulina, it is categorized as one of the single food that is able to provide a huge spectrum of almost complete kind of the nutrients that you need, including the protein, the EFA, the different chain of amino acids. That's the reason why spirulina has been used by NASA, has been used by previously the astronauts to, because the astronauts, they are not able to cook up there for decades. They are not able to bring the food in bulk up there in the space. So they need a very compact form of the nutritious food so that to sustain the health. So this is what I believe Dr. Lim, he has his reason to pick one of the food, we call it the concentrated kind of wholesome food that is able to give multi-functions as well as almost complete nutrients that our body is deprived from from our daily diet, you see. So Dr. Lim, he tried to find one of the most consolidated nutrient-based food for us. Yeah, no, that we know that other range of greens, they are good, but Dr. Lim, he tends to he has his own his reason to his selection.
Why is it so important to use this the enzyme? You mentioned morinzyme, morinzy, codipine, which for those who are new, is actually fermented pineapple juice, right? Mixed with cordyceps. Why is it so important to have this in conjunction with the RG and GL powders and the other mushrooms?
Okay. So why is enzyme so important in gynotherapy? Is that I like to understand this enzyme, like I've mentioned, enzyme is a source of life. Sometimes when you throw certain nutrients, like for example, calcium, when you take a huge amount of calcium in the body, it doesn't mean that your body is able to absorb, because certain hormones and certain enzymes need to be secreted in order for your body to absorb all these elements into your body. So enzymes, just like I mentioned, hormones, they are commanders. Enzymes, they are workers. Like in the company, in the huge company that you have, the employers, the CEO, the CFO, they are hormones. They give instructions. They give absolute commands. What about the doers? We have a lot more than 1,000 categories of doers. The other name, we call it enzymes. They are doers in our body. So like for example, one simple case that I can bring up, anemia. We call it deprivation of the red blood cells, right? Or the red blood cells is not healthy. Okay, so some people, they can actually simply diagnose it is deprived of iron, but that's not it, because you need a lot of pathways, like you see the circle just now. Okay, the pathways to create the red blood cells. So enzymes, it can subcategorize into 3 groups. First of all, food enzymes. It can be obtained from your natural food enzymes. Okay, so the food that is coming from the plant-based, especially the uncooked ones. So even people in the living in the Arctic region, they're eating the raw meat. They consist a lot of enzymes, because you need to see that the tundra region, they do not have any green base. So how are they going to retain the enzymes in the body? So they're taking raw food, first of all. Okay. Second of all, sometimes whenever we do not get enough food enzymes, the body will actually produce, we call it digestive enzymes, to break down help to simplify the molecules, the huge molecules, huge chain of the food for your body to absorb. So we always think that, oh, it's fine that we have this. If I don't get the first line of enzyme, I can get the one from digestive enzymes all the time. The problem is that the reservoir, like I mentioned, the reservoir coming from pancreas and liver. If we keep hammering on our liver by utilizing all the reservoir within our liver, logically speaking, do you think all the enzymes available in the body will be like deprived entirely? So your body is a very intelligent mechanism. Your body will not give up. It will go to the third level. We call it metabolic enzymes. Your body is a very good recycler as well as borrower. So the third level metabolic enzymes means that, for example, whenever you need to induce energy, like the Krebs cycle, right? Whenever you need to produce energy, you need enzymes. Every small pathways within your metabolic process needs enzymes. So, like for example, when your body needs to reproduce or recycle from the spleen and liver, okay, as well as the homopoietin from your kidneys, they need the combination of enzymes so your red blood cells can be recreated, not just within the iron. So sometimes whenever there are too much borrowing the enzymes to the lower subcategory, the metabolic enzymes will be deprived in the body, and that's the reason why a lot of people they are suffering to a lot of disease, which is enzyme-induced issues. So normally, enzyme is one of our important range of nutrition we need in our gynotherapy. So but each enzyme it has its very unique functionality. Like for example, the noni enzymes, enzyme, okay, because noni fruit it is antimicrobial in nature, and at the same time it is it has a natural antihistamine nature as well. So it will tame down the immune system. And while codipine is more towards people who are having heart cases or cardiovascular inflammation, a lot of swelling, like high uric acids, a lot of congestion. Yeah, we will be using that the pineapple enzymes together with cordyceps to help the body to get rid of the acidity out of the body more effectively. We call it the channel, and the channel of detoxification it will be becoming better. Yeah.
So far, of all the mushrooms that you talked about, which would you say is most effective in eliminating heavy metals? I think you mentioned RG as being very effective in breaking up heavy metals lodged in fat cells. Yeah, could you comment on that?
Okay, so as the polysaccharides as well as the triterpenes are found in the mushroom family, to be honest, all mushroom they are able to enhance liver functions. It's just that the superior group of the mushroom, it is able to do more, like cordyceps, like the ganoderma, because it is able to provide the body the precursors of glutathione as well as superoxide dismutase. They are one of the most powerful, we call it the antioxidant, okay, can be found in the body. They are like the sticky mat. They are like the vacuum cleaner to attract all those the free radicals, okay, out from your body, and it can be disposed more smoothly out of your body system. So like you mentioned that the heavy metals, especially people who are exposed to amalgam, the feeling in the teeth, a lot of people, they can actually overlook this matter, because some of the countries, the dentistry, they are still using the amalgam fillings. A lot of people, they are not aware about the leaching of the amalgam, which is mercury leaching into the blood. So leading to, the toxicity, the high mercury content in the blood. So as you can say that ganoderma is one of them. Secondly, is greens like spirulina. And you can use any other of the greens that you can find, like the dark green cruciferous vegetables, to help for natural chelation.
So somebody says, I'm eating such a healthy diet. I am just, I had eating lots of greens. I'm vegan. I'm low carb. I do intermittent fasting. Why would I need mushrooms or any of these supplements to support me?
Okay, so this is a very good question as well. Okay, look at the vegetables we're taking today. Maybe I can share one slide, which is like, if you don't mind. Okay, so whenever we look into the nutritional value in our vegetables today, it can be quite scary to find out that we are deprived of so much nutrients. Yeah. Mm,
We can see the slide.
hold on, not yet, not yet. I'm looking for one more slide for you. It's a different slide. So that I'm able to share with all of you. Okay. Okay, so where is it? Okay, can you guys see this slide?
Not yet. It's starting. It says William Gan has started screen. Yeah, that's it.
Right. Okay. So as you can see that you are taking a lot of green food, okay, low in calories, high in fiber, high in antioxidant, but look at the level of the micronutrients found in our veg today. So as you can see that, like in earlier chat, I've spoken to Miss Chan, right? We were talking about the earthworms. So back in those 1950s or 1960s, the commercialized cultivation was not so huge yet, okay? And there's the reason why we can see that the commercialized cultivation has led into the shocking depletion, especially in the minerals in the soil. As you can see that, like the spinach. In 1950s, yeah, okay, 1950s, one bowl of spinach, you can get enough amount of iron. But in 1997, you needed to take about 43 bowls of spinach to get the same amount of iron back in 1950s. So how much enough is enough? So you can see that why? Because there is no rest of the land. Back in ancient days, you cultivate, some countries with 4 seasons, they are very lucky, very fortunate. Because during winter, they're able to rest the land. They are able to let the compost, the microorganism to replenish the minerals within the soil. But in like tropical countries, people are trying, you know, in the agricultural area, they try to plant more and more. And due to what? Yield. The government does not care. They just want more yield. So that's the reason why we can see that a lot of deprivation of the nutritional value that we can get from normal plant-based food we eat. So sometimes we can see that some plant-based food, especially whenever we are not careful enough, we can it can add more load to we call it the commercialized, even the pesticides or even fertilizers that actually can invade our body. A few days ago, my mom was actually cooking carrots because my mom was like grating the carrots, you see. So we were not really aware of how the carrots look like. But on that day, my mom was actually chopping the carrots on the chopping board, and suddenly she could find the stain, the orange stain on the white chopping board. That is not washable. It's like, what? What's that? It's like, and we found out that when we wash the carrots, the water in that carrot is all coloring. We were so shocked. It's like, what kind of plant-based food?
Where did you get it from? So we avoid buying.
I think some wet market sometimes, yeah. We cannot see, because sometimes we try to avoid, especially in Malaysia, we try to avoid the hypermarket because they have a huge bulk contract with Cameron Highlands. Cameron Highlands always have a high level of pesticides. So, and it can never enter Singapore. So
Okay. Well, I tried to mute everybody. Oops, I've muted you. Sorry, William.
no worries. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, let me continue about the pesticides that is being used by Malaysia. Okay, in like hypermarket, you know, in those like cold grocery, all these things. Okay, the pesticides being used, okay, in Cameron Highlands is 7 times more than it should be. 7 times. So that's the reason we try to opt for something which is more organic, like wet market, a smaller scale kind of the merchandise. So unfortunately, sometimes it is beyond our control where the source can come from. We need to be very, very well aware so that we need to really, really consistently clean our body. That's the reason why I have been taking the Ganoderma for the past 19 years, because I do not know what kind of food I've been taking all this while. Yeah. So even though not in a large dose, but like minimal, maybe 4 to 6 capsules is good enough. You feel like if you feel you're unhealthy, you can take higher dose, like maybe 15 capsules, 15 pairs a day. If not, you can take up to 4 pairs a day. It's fine. It's okay. It's food.
Okay. So I'm just watching the time, William. It's 5:40 now. So Vixie,
Wow. Okay.
it's just so much amazing information to share with us. I just want to. I'm gonna unmute everybody now. Okay, I better mute. I can't unmute. Okay, so we will. I think if there are no more, one last question. If anybody wants to send a last question. Oh, somebody asked how to remove pesticides from vegetables. Hello?
Hello, yeah.
Yes, that's how do you remove pesticides
Yeah.
from vegetables.
Oh, hi Anna, Binet. Yeah, Binet. Anna from Poland. Wow. Okay.
Hello,
So,
William. Hello.
hello, Anna.
How are you?
Okay. Okay. All right. So let me
William,
continue.
is it possible to do this webinar and I will translate into Polish?
Oh, we already finishing.
Yes, I know, but in a few days.
Okay. Hopefully we can arrange.
Yes?
All right. All right. Okay.
Super, super, because my group is growing and they like your presentation, you know.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let me continue for the question to the question. All right. So how to wash a pesticide? You cannot wash thoroughly all the pesticides from the vegetables, but normally the main thing will be some people will be using like our ozone based water, or they are using like vinegar or salt to use osmosis wise to clean the water to clean the veg. However, certain percentage of the pesticides, it cannot be fully eliminated, because sometimes you can see that like previously like hydroponic, right? I've seen actually some of the pesticides, they are being watered into the root of the plant. So it's like embedded. All these pesticides, they are embedded together with the plant cells, you see. So it's hard to it's like within the cell of the plant. So it's very hard for us to eliminate 100% from the plant, especially the pesticides. So it's all about the choice that you make. Where is the source coming from? Whether it's organic, we have to scrutinize. And how to scrutinize is that sometimes you look into the vegetables, it is not completely like a plastic. Sometimes you can look into the holes. It means that if the nature is telling us that if the worms, or we call it the insects, are able to eat those leaves, means that it is safe for us to eat as well.
Yes.
One of the guidelines. One of the guidelines.
Perfect vegetables, right?
Yeah, for vegetables.
Okay, ugly vegetables.
Ugly vegetables. Yeah, true. And especially like the banana. A lot we can see that the hypermarket, the banana today, they are all GMO, genetically modified. So like we call it Montreal banana. Montreal banana is like, it's huge and it's smooth, but there is not much of the micronutrients found in the banana, but empty calories, we call it. So the real banana you should be finding is ugly, full of dark spots, and you can see some of the tiny flies flying around the banana. It simply means that banana has a lot of enzymes within.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, William. You've been such an inspiration for all of us. So in fact, you're saying that we do need this supplementation because we can't just get it enough from food, right?
Yeah.
And we can tell, but as our body shows different symptoms, and when we start getting aches and pains, or we don't see so well, or we're feeling a bit bloated after eating a certain kind of food, and so forth, right? And yeah, so thank you so much. Let's all give a very big hand to William. You've been incredible. We, everybody is, I'm just gonna unmute. Yeah, big clap. Thank you.
Thank you, William.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate your attention. So I will answer to the two questions, okay? That has not been answered personally later. All right?
Yes. Okay, I will send the information, the email to you, William. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you again, everybody. So next week we will have another session. This time we will discuss with William in this same topic, or we should. But I love what I heard today, and thank you so much. Bye, everybody. I did record this session, so if you want to have a recording, you have to send me a message. I have put my name, my email, and my WhatsApp number on the chat. So I'm going to leave this on for a little while, and you guys can actually write to me if you want. Okay? So everybody's muted. William, thanks again. Any final words?
Okay. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you. Okay, you spend your quality time, and thank you for your effort. Thank you for your attention, and thank you for your questions, so that we are able to learn all together. Because I'm learning from you guys as well. Because disease sometimes there is no one size fits all in nutrition. We are all different. We are all different. So we need to actually to, if you feel that this nutrition is very important for you, so that you at least you are more aware about what kind of the things that actually has made us or our immune system has become weaker. So what are the solution, and what are the things that we can find out there, especially like this group of mushrooms that has been existing over 2,000 years, long years. So we are very blessed that we now we are being revealed that this group of mushrooms that to be able to replenish and to recover our healing ability. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, William.
Thank you, Chan. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.